Welcome to the first lecture in the module 3 for the subject hydrology and water resources. So, by now we have completed hydrological cycle and overall view of hydrological cycle. Then we came to rainfall or precipitation. Okay, then we came to types of rain gauges, how to record rainfall. After that we came to things like how to maintain missing rainfall data and how to estimate mean values of rainfall, various methods like arithmetic mean method, Thyssen polygon method and isohydral method. After that we came to PMP, probable maximum precipitation. Okay. So we have completed the incoming value of water from the atmosphere. Okay. So if you could remember that water budget equation was change in the storage inflow minus outflow. Okay. Water that is coming inside the system is inflow, which is your precipitation, okay, or rainfall. Now this we have precipitation we have completed. Now we will talk about the outflows. So the first outflow is evaporation. Okay, there are other also, but the first is evaporation. So in this lecture we will be talking about evaporation. Okay. So this is the content for today's lecture: evaporation and methods to measure the evaporation and techniques by which you can reduce evaporation losses. Okay. So this is your first slide. So this is your first slide about evaporation. So what basically is the process of evaporation? So when there is some lake or any reservoir and sunlight strikes the surface, okay, and it penetrates, okay, inside the water body up to certain depth, okay, up to certain depth sunlight penetrates, okay, and which heats up this water, okay. Because of this heating, the water molecules here, gain some energy and they start moving, okay. They start moving in random direction, okay, like particles of air which moves in the random direction. Similarly, water also starts moving with some random velocity, okay, and from this surface some of the water starts going out. Some water starts going out of the surface of the reservoir or any water surface, okay. So this water leaving the reservoir, this process is called your evaporation process, okay. Now it is very important to observe that it is totally different from boiling, okay. Evaporation and boiling has a huge difference, because in evaporation you have to heat your water up to the boiling point, okay, then only water converts into the vapor, and in this process you have to boil all the water, okay, in the boiling process. But in evaporation this is not the same. In evaporation, only this surface plays the role. Water up to certain depth is heated and the conversion of water into vapor happens only at the surface of reservoir or water surface. Okay, only this surface plays a role in the process. Okay, so this the same thing I was talking about, that from gaseous it converts into gases from the free surface of water surface. Okay, so then another thing that I have already explained. Now, what is the third point? That net escape of water molecules from liquid is basically your evaporation. This also I have included here. What is the third point? That evaporation is basically a cooling process. Okay, why it is cooling process? You can think like that. When there is summer season and you are in the sunlight, your body gets heated. Okay, and to cool your body, what your body do? Body starts sweating. Okay, body starts sweating, and this is similar kind of phenomena, and your body gets cooled. Okay, your sweat itself starts cooling your body. A similar type of analogy is there. When there is evaporation, there is a net reduction in the temperature. There is some reduction. Why there is some reduction? Because some of the energy is absorbed by the water to convert water into vapor. So this change of energy reduces your temperature. So that is why we call evaporation as a cooling process. So you also know that if you want to increase 1 degree temperature, okay, then that the amount of energy that you have to give to the system is called specific heat. Okay, so you have to give some specific heat so that with every single degree of temperature, the temperature gets increase or decrease. Okay, after that, to convert water into vapor, you have to give latent heat of vaporization. Okay, so water at 100 degrees Celsius, after latent heat of vaporization, it converts into vapor at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, so because of this latent heat of vaporization, they say that vapor at 100 degrees Celsius is more dangerous than water at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, because it has extra latent heat of vaporization. Okay, so this is how your evaporation happens. So what are the factors that affects the evaporation in the atmosphere? Okay, for us, we are dealing with hydrological cycle. So in the atmosphere, what are the various factors which affects the evaporation? So the first factor is vapor pressure of the water surface, then temperature of air and water, then speed of wind, because when wind is high, it will remove the vapor. So and the vapor vapor pressure will reduce for the system. Then atmospheric pressure, quality of water, and size of water body. Size of water body also affects the evaporation. Okay, so let's move ahead. Now let us say that there is some lake or some reservoir where you have to calculate the evaporation or rate of evaporation. Okay. So for that we already have a formula, and the formula is like this, in which EL represents rate of evaporation. Okay, so it is the unit is mm per day. How many mm of water is evaporated in 1 day? Okay, it is the unit is similar to the rainfall, mm. Okay, then C is a constant. It comes from the from solving a differential equation, so this is a constant value. After that there is EW and EA, where EW is saturated vapor pressure and EA is actual vapor pressure of air. Okay, so basically if you could see here that rate of evaporation directly depends on this difference of the vapor pressure. So evaporation rate is totally dependent upon this difference. So if somebody asks you a question that how much is the evaporation in this particular condition, so you have to recall this formula, and based on this formula you can answer those kind of questions. Okay. So see here, this formula is given by the Dalton, and thus this formula is also called Dalton's law of evaporation. Okay, so this difference is maintained, and if this EW is greater than EA, then evaporation process will continue. Okay, will continue till how much EW becomes equal to the EA. Okay, when equilibrium is maintained, then evaporation stops. But actually it never happens. Okay, always there is evaporation is a continuous process. Okay, there is always evaporation is going on, actually it never comes to equilibrium. Even when it comes to equilibrium, the equilibrium gets distorted or disturbed because of several factors, because we are living on earth and there are so many disturbing elements which disturb the equilibrium. So thus this evaporation process goes on. Okay. So now if I put a question on you, let me draw something. So let us say that if there are two lakes, okay, one lake is like this, whereas other lake is like this. This is a shallow. This is a shallow lake, and this is a deep lake. Okay, and somebody asks you a question that tell me which lake will have higher evaporation rate. Okay, which reservoir will have higher evaporation rate. So if somebody asks you this question with this much data, what will be your answer? Okay, so what will be your answer? So if somebody says A, or somebody may say B, there is only two options. But there is this, both of them are wrong answers, because you cannot tell that. until I have to give some more data. Okay, the first data I should give that volume of water in this lake and volume of water in this lake is same. Okay, then only I can judge or compare them. All the suppose this have 100 parameters, this have 100 parameter, and I want to compare one parameter, so I have to assume that other 99 parameters are same and constant. Okay, then only I can compare about the evaporation. So I have to give you more values like volume in the both the lakes are same. Okay, so when I have given you that volume in both the reservoir is same. Now you can tell your answer that what is which of the following lake have higher evaporation rate. Okay, so some of you must have given answer as A, some of you might have given B. Okay, so what is the correct answer? So for that you should understand what do you mean by this evaporation rate. So evaporation rate means mm per day per unit area. एक दिन में कितना mm इवापोरेशन हो रहा है एक यूनिट एरिया ऑफ लेक में. ओके, 1 यूनिट एरिया, सिर्फ इतना को ही आपको जज करना है. ओके, then you can talk about evaporation rate. Okay, so if you see here both the both we are talking about unit area in both the lake. So the correct answer is A is equal to B. Evaporation rate is same for both the lake. Okay, for both the lake evaporation rate is same. Now if I am going to ask, now evaporation rate is over and I want to ask, just tell me which will have higher evaporation. Okay, for that you must be clear what do I mean by evaporation. So by evaporation I mean volume of water evaporated. How much volume of water is evaporated? Here I was talking about how much I was talking with reference to unit area. Here I am free of unit area. I am talking about for whole area, whatever area these lakes have. So what is the correct answer? The correct answer is the lake which have higher free surface area will suffer more evaporation. So if you see that this area is less and this upper area is higher for lake A, thus evaporation will be higher in the lake A. Okay, so this is the main reason. Okay, so since evaporation is higher in this lake will dry very fast. Okay, so it is not a good idea to build a reservoir like this. Okay, this type of lake or reservoir will dry very very soon. Okay, whereas this kind of this shape of lake will not dry faster as compared to this. Okay, so okay, if somebody asks that if there is a lake, okay, of pure water, okay, whereas there is a lake of saline water, okay, this is also lake, okay. So if somebody asks that which of these two reservoir or lake will have higher evaporation, okay, higher evaporation, so how will you answer that? Just look at your formula, and if you know this, if you dissolve some solute in water, the vapor pressure of it gets decreases, thus vapor pressure reduces, due to which the water, the evaporation becomes difficult in the solution, okay. Thus this pure system can be evaporated easily, so evaporation will be higher in the pure water, whereas in saline lake there will be lesser evaporation, okay. That is why the evaporation in your oceans is lesser, rate is lesser, but overall the evaporation from ocean is higher because they have huge surface area, okay? So that surface area becomes very important or dominating factor to answer this kind of question. So for this one, the correct answer is this one is your correct answer, okay. Okay. Now you know evaporation. What do you mean by evaporation? How lakes suffer evaporation? Which kind of lakes suffer more evaporation? Now, if I will ask you, you have to measure evaporation. Okay. So how you are going to measure evaporation? So we have very simple technique to measure evaporation. What is the simple technique? So you take this kind of instrument. This instrument is called evaporation pan. कि एक पैन में आप पानी भरिए, ओके, पानी भरने के बाद इसको लेक के बगल में रख दीजिए, ओके। लेक के बगल में आप जब इसको रख देंगे, सपोज इसमें इवापोरेशन दिन भर आपने इसको लेक के बगल में रख दिया, दिन भर में अगर आपने ऑब्जर्व किया कि यहाँ पे 7 mm इवापोरेशन हो गया इस पैन में, इस पैन में, तो आपको कैलकुलेट करना है कि लेक में कितना इवापोरेशन हुआ। तो ये आपका फॉर्मूला है कि इस Cp का मल्टीप्लाई कर दीजिए आप इससे, जितना इवापोरेशन पैन में हो रहा है। पैन में कितना हो रहा था 7 mm, ये कितना हो गया आपका 4.9 mm, ओके। तो आप बोलेंगे कि आपके लेक में इवापोरेशन कितना हो रहा है 4.9 mm, ओके। टेक्निक क्या है? बहुत सिंपल टेक्निक है। आप ये मान के चल रहे हैं कि जितना पैन में इवापोरेशन होगा लगभग उस चीज को आप रिलेट कर रहे हैं कितना इवापोरेशन आपके लेक में होगा, ओके। आपका पैन रफली रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है किसको? लेक के इवापोरेशन को। उसको करेक्ट करने के लिए आप क्या कर रहे हैं? एक पैन फैक्टर से मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं। सो this type of pan is called class A evaporation pan, okay. This was from this pan was designed by Americans, okay. So India have also designed their own pan, okay, but the only difference is they have changed their pan coefficient as 0.8 because they have used different metal and different shapes like that. Similarly, there is another evaporation pan that is called Colorado sunken pan. For them, the coefficient is 0.78. So all the pan are working in the same principle, The only difference is in the coefficient of pan. Okay, why? Because they have different shape. There are different shape of pan. The metal by which pen is made is different. Okay, so the basic design governs the value of pen coefficient. Okay, so this much is all about the evaporation for our undergraduate program. Now, if somebody is interested that how you could reduce the evaporation in a lake, क्योंकि आपके लेक में पानी हमेशा बना रहे यही सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है. आपने अगर डैम बनाया और डैम खाली हो जाता है तो वो अपना पर्पस को सर्व नहीं करेगा. तो यू मस्ट ऑल्सो ट्राई टू reduce this evaporation losses. Okay, so what can be various methods? So there can be a number of methods, but here I have listed very few. So the first is reduction in the surface area. आप surface area रिजर्वॉयर का कम बनाइए. ठीक है, कहने का मतलब है कि अगर आपके पास आपको कहीं पे डैम बनाना है तो कैसा डैम बनाइए? डैम ऐसा बनाइए कि उसकी डेप्थ क्या हो, बहुत ज्यादा हो. ओके, ऐसा रिजर्वॉयर मत बनाइए, ऐसा रिजर्वॉयर बनाइए. इस तरीके का डैम बनाइए जिसका डेप्थ बहुत ज्यादा हो. सो दैट इज व्हाई यू विल सी व्हेन इफ देयर आर टू माउंटेन्स. ओके, सो if you have to select the ideal location of the dam, what will you do? You will make dam here. Okay, so that this will give you higher depth. Okay, thus your water from the dam will not evaporate fastly. So this is called valleys. Okay, so I have also given you the point that ideal location for a dam to be constructed is your valley. Okay, because water here will not be evaporated fastly. Also, this length of dam also becomes less. So the construction of dam will also be more economical. Okay, then what is the second point to reduce evaporation? Just cover by mechanical roof. अगर एक डैम है उसके पानी के सरफेस के पूरे ऊपर में आप एक शीट लगा दीजिए, एक मैकेनिकल शीट लगा दीजिए. बट दिस इज क्वाइट कॉस्टली मेथड. ओके, सो यूजुअली पीपल डू नॉट प्रिफर दिस, बट इन कंट्रीज where there is a huge crisis of water and they have sufficient money, people go for this method because this method is very very effective. It drastically saves your water, okay, as compared to other methods. Okay, so this is, people follow this, but it is a costly method. And third method is you can provide the chemical film. So there are some chemical like hexadecanol, octadecanol. Okay, you take a bottle of this chemical and you go to dam, you pour it over the water surface and it will make a thin, very fine film over the water surface, and your sunlight will not easily penetrate in the water to a lesser extent. Thus your evaporation will reduce somehow. Also, apart from this chemical, simply your alcohol, okay, like your ethanols, so this also reduces the evaporation. Okay, so it reduces evaporation by around 20 to 50% depending upon kind of alcohol. Okay, so this is all about evaporation, and I hope you have learned something. You might have learned something from this lecture, and we'll continue in the next segment. For then, thank you very much.